Hello dear students, good morning. Today we are discussing about synthesis of some drugs belongs to the unit 1, especially about the category of antihistaminic drugs. So in antihistaminic drug, as we have discussed, as we have classified, that antihistaminic drug may be classified into two categories, H1 antagonist and H2 antagonist. So in H1 antagonist, three synthesis of three drugs are in your syllabus: diphenhydramine, tripronidine, and promethazine. Dear students, all are the basic drugs, that's why they are converted into hydrochloride salt. So the HCl written here, that is hydrochloride, like diphenhydramine hydrochloride, tripronidine hydrochloride, promethazine hydrochloride. So they are the salt of the hydrochloride because of they are the basic drug, because nitrogen containing drugs, nitrogen atom containing drugs. One drug in category of H2 antagonist, that is in your syllabus, cimetidine. So we will now, today we are discussing the synthetic scheme or synthesis of these four drugs in today's session. So look at start with synthesis of diphenhydramine. Dear students, look at your diphenhydramine. As we can discuss its structure and the category of drug. As you know, the diphenhydramine is a prototype class of the drug, that is amino-alkyl ether analog. These students, we have classified H1 antagonist into the 6 category as per base of their chemical structure or basic nucleus. In this 6 category, one category is amino-alkyl ether analog. So in this category, the diphenhydramine belongs to amino-alkyl ether analog. Why we call it amino-alkyl ether analog? Look at in the structure of diphenhydramine, that is in this one in the screen. Ether analog, ether bond, oxygen, single bond oxygen, oxygen with the two single bonds, that is the ether bond, that is there. One nitrogen atom is there, and in between the nitrogen and ether there is the alkyl chain, there is ethylene chain, CH2 two carbon chain in between. So oxygen and nitrogen, in between the oxygen and nitrogen there is the ethylene ring. So that's why it is called as monoamino, because one nitrogen, one amino group is there, transamine. So one monoamino, ethylene means alkyl, so alkyl ether. So that's why they are called as monoamino alkyl ether. Now the structure of the diphenhydramine, what happened on the oxygen, there is a you can say bench hydral group. Bench hydral group, there is a two phenyl group, one methylene group, CH group, that is joined together, that is called as bench hydral group. So this bench hydral group, that is attached on the oxygen, and the amino group, that is fused with two methyl groups, dimethyl amino groups. So that is about the structure of diphenhydramine. You can easily remember the structure of diphenhydramine. If you remember, if you are able to remember the structure of diphenhydramine, then easily you can write their synthesis. Because of the synthesis, it is a single step synthesis, and we can divide into two parts. We can bifurcate here from bench hydral groups, that's C6H5, C6H5, two phenyl groups on the CH2. So this is called as a bench hydral groups. So bromine we are putting here, bench hydral bromide, and this oxygen is converted into hydroxyl groups. So HBr will be removed from here, and you know rest of structure, two part we have divided, bench hydral and another registered amino ether group. So amino ether groups is converted into two dimethyl amino ethanol. So the synthesis of diphenhydramine, directly you can say in the single stage synthesis, in which what happened, bench hydral bromide will react with 2-dimethylamino ethanol, and upon a heat and HCl, you can say upon heat what happen, HBr will remove and HCl convert it into the diphenhydramine hydrochloride salt. So I think it is clear now that diphenhydramine hydrochloride may be synthesized by the only in one step from benzyl hydrobromide, and another molecule is 2-dimethylamino ethanol. So students, in the synthesis of any compound, you have to remember the structure of the final compound, means diphenhydramine, like structure of diphenhydramine you have to remember, and you have to know the structure and name of the starting compound. If there are multiple step reactions, then you can say omit some steps in between if you want, but so that you have to remember first initial compound and final compound as per your university point of view as well as the competition point of view. So next we are moving to the second synthesis now, synthesis of promethazine hydrochloride. As we know, the promethazine, the structure of promethazine there is here. We know this promethazine we have discussed in the classification part, that promethazine is a derivative of phenothiazine derivative basically, and phenothiazine is the class of the tricyclic ring system, because 3 rings in the phenothiazine fuse together, 2 benzene nucleus and 1 is amino, you can say thiazine nucleus, thiazine ring. So thiazine rings fuse with the 2 benzene nucleus, and it is known as the benzothiazine. And benzothiazine, the numbering will start with the carbon number 1 carbon, then 2 3 4 5 from benzene 4, and 5 positions, that is goes to the sulfur, and that is the 10. So this is the numbering, and we can put it here in the phenothiazine. And as we know, the structure of phenothiazine, promethazine, that is a nitrogen in the phenothiazine, and the side chain, there is the side chain is 2 carbon chain distance between the 2 nitrogen atoms, methylene group, you can see ethylene groups. And so this side chain we can substitute here by the putting 1 dimethylamino, you can say, or 2 propyl chloride. This is also, you can say, 1 dimethylamino 2 propyl chloride is a compound in the presence of sodamide. It is important that the reaction will explain the presence of the sodamide and the removal of the HCl from the hydrogen from the nitrogen and Cl from this, and we can obtain directly the promethazine. Dear students, we have discussed in the SAR part also, then the phenothiazine, that is having CNS activity only, but the peripheral activity, or you can say H1 antagonist activity, they will remain if the carbon chain between the 2 nitrogen, 1 nitrogen in the phenothiazine, another nitrogen, there is side chain nitrogen. So distance between 2 nitrogen, or that to be with 2 carbon only. If it is increasing by the 3 carbon, then the H1 antagonist activity will be destroyed and CNS activity will be increased. So that is we have discussed in the SAR point. So the important point, that's why I have again discovered here, discussed here. Sorry, I have again discussed here. So that's all about the, I think, synthesis of promethazine. That promethazine, as like we have discussed that if we know the structure of promethazine, then we can divide in 2 parts. One the phenothiazine ring, another is the side chain ring, and in the presence of sodamide, that is the sodium and ammonia. So what happened? The ammonia is removed here, as well as the Cl is removed as the NaCl. NaCl and ammonia will be removed. HCl will be removed in the form of the sodium. There is sodium chloride and ammonia. Ammonia gas will be removed out. So that is the synthesis of promethazine. Now, dear students, we are discussing about the third synthesis of triprolidine hydrochloride. As you know, tripyrrolidine is a uh, three cyclic rings on the propene nucleus, propene ring. Look at the propene means carbon double bond CH, CH2, propene ring. One carbon, that is double bonded carbon, is substituted by the toluyl groups. Toluyl groups, there is the toluene, you can say toluyl paramethyl phenyl groups. As one is the another is pyridine nucleus, pyridine. So the pyridine or pyridine nucleus, and the CH2 group is substituted by the pyrrolidinyl group, pyrrolidine or pyrrolidinyl groups. Okay, so we can say the structure, we know structure of this compound that we can easily can understood. Now we are discussing the synthesis. Dear students, we can see here that as we know that we have to insert this pyrrolidine nucleus as well as the pyridine nucleus, that is essential for activity. So we have to take this toluenyl carbon, that is you can say 4-methyl amino acetophenone, because of we have to insert carbon double bond CH. So the CH3 CO group we have taken up. So we have taken here the paramethyl acetophenone. Another is we have to take formaldehyde, because we have to insert the CH2 group in between the pyrrolidine and CH. So this group would be inserted by when we take formaldehyde, or that is also called as the paraformaldehyde. Paraformaldehyde means formaldehyde is the monomer, and formaldehyde is present in the dimer form or trimer form basically, and it is called as the paraformaldehyde. C and this means CH2O and CH2O means number of molecules multiply here. Another nucleus that we can take here, that is pyrrolidine, because we have to insert here pyrrolidine. So this ring accept pyridinyl group or pyridine nucleus. We can this ring can be formed here. Look at here. This is ketonic group containing 4'methyl 3-pyrrolidino propanophenone, which is IUPAC name for this ring. That can be formed when reaction between 4-methyl acetophenone, formaldehyde and pyrrolidine. These three molecules we have to take for the synthesis. Then we have to react it with lithium and 2-bromopyridine. Lithium and 2-bromopyridine, what happens when the lithium and 2-bromopyridine will react together? Then HBr will be removed here and lithium will be attached at position number 2. So in some books it may be also written as a 2-lithium pyrrolidine. So that is the same thing, because 2-lithium pyrrolidine is not stable. We have to convert it when we are taken both 2-bromopyridine as well as 2-bromopyridine as well as lithium. So these two reactant we have using here. So what happened? The ketonic group that is converted into the hydroxyl groups, the ketonic group at position number 1, so that is converted into the hydroxyl groups, and from position number 2 the bromine will be removed, and this bromine you can say that is joined with this position number 1 carbon. So this compound will be formed. Look at here, position number 1, the bromine will remove, and bromine position 2 carbon number 2 of the pyridine will join with the carbon number 1 in the propiophenone. Then we can treat it with acid. So in the presence of acid, what will happen? Removal of the HCl and the water molecule will remove, and double bond will come in between the carbon. So look at here the double bond. So we will obtain the structure of the tripyrrolidine. So by this way we can synthesize the tripyrrolidine, and upon reaction with the HCl, this tripyrrolidine, there is a basic drug because the nitrogen containing compound. So the basic drug can be converted into the salt to increase its stability. So the tripyrrolidine hydrochloride when react with the hydrochloride, so hydrochloride salt will be prepared. So dear students, you can understood by this way we can synthesize tripyrrolidine hydrochloride by the reaction with the HCl. So starting molecule for tripyrrolidine that is used in the synthesis of tripyrrolidine, that is one is the 4-methyl acetophenone, another is formaldehyde, and last is third molecule is pyrrolidine. So these three molecules we can use, and then we use again lithium tribromo this lithium 2-bromopyridine. So this molecule we can use as intermediate and we can obtain the pyrrolidine. So these two or three steps that is we are using in the synthesis of tripyrrolidine. So this is the method of synthesis for the tripyrrolidine. So next we are discussing these three compound, you can say that belongs to the H1 antagonist. Now we are discussing the H2 antagonist, that is the cimetidine, that is in your syllabus, first generation H2 antagonist. Look at here the structure of the cimetidine first. Cimetidine is the imidazole nucleus, imidazole derivative, and it is a first generation H2 antagonist used in the treatment of the peptic ulcer. And numbering will start from the hydrogen containing nitrogen, and 1, 2, 3. 3 number goes to the nitrogen in the ring, and 4 number that is go for the long chain substitution at position number 4, and 5th position there is a 5th methyl substitutions. So by this way we can numbering this ring. Number 1 start with the hydrogen containing nitrogen in the ring, then third number will goes to the nitrogen in the ring, fourth number will goes to the long chain substitution, and fifth number goes to the 5th methyl groups. So that is the numbering for the cimetidine. And this long chain compound that is contain the sulfur bond as well as the nitrogen bond, cyanide bond. So that we will discuss again how we can synthesize it. The students, first we have to synthesize. We can divide into different parts. First part, the imidazole ring. So we have to synthesize. We have to look about how we can synthesize the imidazole ring. So first we will discuss about the imidazole ring, how we can synthesize it. Then we will go for the side chain substitutions and side chain ring. So look at here, starting with 2-chloro-ethyl and its common name is 2-chloro-ethyl acetoacetic ester. So the 2-chloro-ethyl acetoacetic ester or 2-chloro-ethyl acetoacetate we can use here. Reaction with the 2 mole of the formamide. Formamide is formed by reaction between formaldehyde and ammonia. When they react together, formaldehyde and ammonia, it will be converted into formamide. So 2 mole of the formamide, or you can say 2 mole of the ammonia and 2 mole of the formaldehyde we can take here for the reaction. So 2 mole of formamide and 2-chloro-ethyl acetoacetate when we are taking in the reaction, then what happen? The imidazole derivative, imidazole ring formed, and imidazole derivative that is we will be obtained. That is 4-carboethoxy 5-methyl imidazole. That is the name for this imidazole derivative that is obtained by the reactions from 2-chloroacetophenone, 2-chloroacetic acid, and acetic ester and formamide. So that is the first step of the reactions. Now, second step, what happened? We have to take because of this ester link moiety that is present on the 4th positions, that to be converted into the hydroxy moiety. So we have to take a reducing agents. Reducing agents is the sodium and liquid ammonia that we can take here. Sodium and liquid ammonia. So sodium and liquid ammonia, what happened? This ester group at position number 4 will be converted into the hydroxyl groups. Okay, so that is the compound. The name of this compound would be the 4-hydroxymethyl, because this is the 4-hydroxymethyl group, and 5-methyl imidazoles. That is the same thing. So 4-carbenoethoxy group is our carbenoethoxy group is converted into the 4-hydroxymethyl group. Then we have to increase the side chain. As we know, look at here in the structure of the cimetidine, that is the substitution as the methylene group is there, then sulfur, ethylene group, and ammonia, this amino group that we have to insert. So this group we are putting here. Look at here, HSCH2CH2 NH2. That is IPC name of this is 2-mercapto, because this is the mercapto group. So 2-mercaptoethylamine. So 2-mercaptoethylamine we will use here. And what happened? This hydroxyl groups that is present in position number 4 react with the hydrogen that is present with the mercapto group, and water molecule will remove, and this S bond, you can say H involved here, direct sulfur directly linked with the carbon at position number 4. So this side chain will obtain CS at position number 4 is CS2 S, CS2 CS2, NS2. I think it is clear to all. This is the IPC name written here. Then we have to increase the side chain also. Then we have to take another molecule for the reaction, that is N-cyanoamido SS. Student, this is not 5, this is the S. SS diamino dithiocarbonate. Why it is SS? Because there is the sulfur group is attached here, and sulfur group is also joined with the methyl groups. So disulfur and dimethyl groups. There is a sulfur group called the dithio, and dimethyl group that is attached with the thio group. So dithio, and the cyanide group that is attached with the nitrogen, and CH double bond NH. This is the imido group. Imine groups. So that's why the N-cyanoimido means cyanide and imido groups. So cyanoamido SS dimethyl dithiocarbonate. So this is the substitute name for this compound. So now we are using this ring here. So what happened? Look at here. We will obtain a thio derivative of our cimetidine. Cimetidine is not a cimetidine, but it's thio derivative of the cimetidine. And look at here. Only thing is that the SCH3 in the side chain, SCH3 methyl thio group, that to be replaced by the methylamine. So another reaction we are to look at here, methylamine reaction with the methylamine. So what happened? This SCH3 is replaced by the NHCH3 in the side chain. Okay, so we will obtain finally the cimetidine. So that is the method of synthesis of cimetidine. Dear students, in the synthesis of cimetidine, what you have to remember? You have to remember how to prepare, how to synthesize the imidazole nucleus, and how we can insert the side chain substitutions. So first we have to use the mercaptoethylamine. Then we have to use this dithiocarbonate, or you can say N-dimethyl SS dimethyl thiocarbonate, that this compound that we have to N-cyanoamido SS dimethyl thiocarbonate. So we have to use in second step, and then reaction with the methylamine, and we will obtain the cimetidine. So dear students, I think you might be understood and learn about the synthesis of these 4 compounds. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you very much.